Well, everywhere you turn these days in the drive-by media, cable networks, liberal politicians, and their echo chamber commentators, they're pounding away at the crisis of affordability. Yes, the headlines are screaming it. Younger generations locked out of the housing market, home ownership slipping away, the American dream fading into oblivion. It's all doom and gloom, designed to rile you up and make you think that the sky is falling. But is this really a crisis of affordability, or is it something deeper, a crisis of maybe, well, priorities? You see, what our communities and society really need isn't just cheaper homes. We need a rediscovery of that old-fashioned American value, sacrifice. You can't have it all, folks, but you can have what's most important. It's a choice, and it's yours to make. Now, the language these liberals use, crisis, it's powerful stuff. It stirs up emotions, gets the political hacks all revved up, and paints the housing market as some big, bad external force crushing opportunity under its boot. And yes, in overpriced liberal utopias like New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, where they've regulated everything to death, prices have shot through the roof, way beyond what the average Joe could even think about touching. But America's a big country. Beyond those coastal elite bubbles, there are communities, real America, where homes are still attainable if you've got the discipline and the guts to make the sacrifices. The media's obsession with affordability is just obscuring the timeless truth. Sacrifice is eternal and choice is unavoidable. Even with all this media hysteria, affordability isn't some immovable wall. It's a mountain to climb. And mountains, well, they're daunting for sure, but they're not impossible. The question isn't whether the mountain exists, because it does, but whether you're ready to strap on your boots and actually climb it. That climb demands sacrifice. What are you willing to give up? Those annual vacations to exotic spots, that fancy car that costs more than your first house, dining out every night, clothes bought just to impress the neighbors instead of the ones that actually last. These are choices, pure and simple. Instead of whining and blaming the world like the left wants you to do, there's a golden opportunity here to learn something profound. Sacrifice is the path to ownership. Hardship builds resilience, discipline creates wealth, and sacrifice sharpens your priorities. Affordability isn't the end of the story. It's the challenge that reveals your character. You've got the freedom to make those choices, and those choices will shape your destiny. Look back at the generation before us. Homeownership wasn't a handout. It required ironclad discipline. They saved every penny, lived with family, sometimes 3 generations under one roof until they could scrape together a down payment. In many cultures, folks shared apartments, not for fun, but out of sheer necessity, pooling resources like true conservatives often do. Cars, well, they bought them outright. No monthly payments bleeding you dry. Vacations, they were rare. Dining out, an occasional treat, not a lifestyle. Weekends were simple, modest, none of this Instagram-fueled excess. But beyond the money, when problems hit, those folks looked inward. They turned to family, friends, community. They shared resilience, collective sacrifice without begging Uncle Sam. Today, people are conditioned to look outward. Hit an obstacle? Well, then demand the government fix it. Save me, big brother. But here's the kicker, folks. The government is the one who created a lot of these messes. Through boneheaded policies that inflated housing costs, strangled supply with regulation, or pushed easy debt like candy, how in the world can you trust the same bungling bureaucrats to solve the problems they cooked up? It's like asking the arsonist to put out the fire. Sure, it's tempting to dream that housing prices will just magically drop to kiss the feet of younger buyers, but history doesn't lie. Markets appreciate over time. Recessions come and go, corrections happen, but the long haul is up. You can't discount homes without tanking the economy. Structural fixes like subsidies, zoning tweaks, or lower rates, they could nibble at the edges, but they don't erase the core truth. Ownership demands sacrifice. So the real question isn't, can I afford a home? It's maybe, what am I willing to sacrifice to afford one? Put the cars, vacation, dining out, luxuries on the back burner. The house comes first. It's not just a buy. It's the foundation for wealth, stability, and legacy. The high cost of living, it's more about a lack of competition and a lack of supply, and it's the rotten fruit of our compromised election structure. Let's call it what it is. Our political system has devolved into legalized bribery. With these massive campaigns and the insane cost of mass media, fundraising is king. Economic fat cats use their dough to buy influence, twisting regulatory policy to squash competition and choke supply. Shortages and diminished competition, that's the only combo that jacks prices sky high. A truly free market, real capitalism, that's the ticket to delivering goods and services at prices we can actually afford. It's just a crying shame that so many Americans, especially the younger crowd, brainwashed by liberal educators, don't grasp these basic economics. You see it in election results in New York, Seattle, voting for more of the same failed ideas, grand promises, or politics as usual. But now there's zero knowledge of what actually works. You don't lower living costs by robbing Peter to pay Paul with subsidies. You do it by unleashing production, innovation, and individual initiative, more supply, fiercer competition among suppliers. That's how you drive down prices. Our regulatory system's rigged to cut supply and competition, leaving consumers with fewer choices. We need more healthcare providers, more insurance options, more oil companies, you name it. The key, more supply, more competition, everything becomes affordable. It's all loops back to this political swamp of legalized bribery where big money calls the shots to protect monopolies. That can change, folks, but the American people have to wake up if they want lower prices at a shot for real affordability. Stop falling for the socialist siren song. Embrace capitalism, demand real reform, and watch the American dream roar back to life. We're at a crossroads. Choose sacrifice and grab ownership, or choose the easy lifestyle and stay a perpetual renter. Look inward, not outward. Lean on family, community, friends. Don't sit around waiting for the government to untangle the knots that they tied. You can't have it all, but you can have what's most important. It's a choice. And it's the choice that decides if the American dream lives on. And that's tonight's first word.